Blessed are the eyes that see what you see. For I tell you, many kings and prophets have desired to see what you see, and have not seen it. To hear what you hear, and have not heard it. I thank you, Father, for hiding these things from the learned and the wise, and revealing them to the innocent and the simple.
This is Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Look at this.
You see the street and you see the great big hole. This apparently just happened.
Jim is overhead in Skyfox HD. Is there a car in that sinkhole?
There is no sign of a car, but you can see that minivan that is on the street next to it, just to give a comparison as to how big that sinkhole is. It looks like it has to be a good 25 feet across and several feet deep, at least 10 feet deep. You can see some of the pipes that are underground. The sinkhole goes well below some of those pipes. Now, this is 5th Avenue and 64th Street in Brooklyn. The fire department has closed down the entire intersection. At this point, nobody's allowed to get close to it.
Not for 30 years, say officials, has Russia suffered a plague like this. Vast areas of the country's agricultural south are seeing swarms of locusts devour entire fields. Officials say at least 10% of crops have already been destroyed. It's devastating the livelihoods of local farmers like Pyotr Stepanchenko. Look, he says, there's nothing left on the corn. The locusts ate it all. The leaves for the cob. Officials from the Russian Ministry of Agriculture say they're stepping up efforts to save the harvest, declaring a state of emergency and spraying the crops with powerful pesticides. But officials admit the locust swarm is moving too fast across southern Russia.
Kalmykia, Astrakhan, Volgograd, Dagestan, there is no more food left for locusts there, so they have flown to a new source of food. They have wingspans of nearly 12 centimeters, like small sparrows.
Some frustrated locals have posted videos of themselves trying to hold back the time. But it all seems futile in the face of such an overwhelming Russian.
Over Chicago, captured from the rear of a United Airlines flight moments after takeoff from O'Hare Airport. A virtually unbroken pattern of illumination showcasing the clouds for a captive audience in the sky. The lightning display was just a part of a severe thunderstorm blanketing the Chicago area on Sunday, adding 60-mile-an-hour winds and golf ball size.
The government so far has been working overnight through all of today, trying to help people, to rescue people from both of these trains. Remember, this accident took place in the middle of the night. What the Railway Ministry has said so far is that it was pitch dark, there was a sudden flash flood, and really it wasn't the fault of the train driver. The tracks gave way, the trains then collapsed, they fell into the water, and that's why so many people have died. I should add though, this isn't entirely unusual. India has a number of train accidents every single month, and these collectively often add up to hundreds of lives lost every year.
Very odd incident indeed, but a U.S. defense official has told us and confirmed details. Apparently, and it was 2 weeks ago, but apparently in the Gulf of Aden, off of Yemen, a place that is a very hot combat zone right now, an Iranian warship was a couple of hundred yards away from a coalition warship, not a U.S. ship, but a U.S. military helicopter had just landed on that coalition warship when they looked over and saw the Iranian military ship pointing a weapon at them, apparently a gun on deck, believed to be a machine gun. That's what these typically are, was pointing at the U.S. military helicopter and the warship. But then they noticed something equally bizarre. Apparently there was a camera crew of some sort right next to the gun that was pointing at them from the Iranian warship. So as the defense official told me, we don't know what was happening, he says. You know, were they taking a vacation snap? Were they filming some sort of propaganda video? Here we are, you know, pointing our weapons at the Westerners. Was some Iranian sailor on that ship, you know, taking a sort of selfie to send to his girlfriend. It all ended without incident. The U.S. military helicopter flew away. Everybody was fine. But it does underscore how quickly things can potentially spin out of control. This one thankfully did not.
New crackdown on the imported Western foods Russia has branded illegal. This, a 150-ton cargo of bacon seized at the border with Belarus and incinerated. It was produced in Denmark, says this Russian agricultural official, and was meant to be sold on the territory of Ukraine, not Russia. Documents appear to confirm the Danish source, but there's outrage that at a time of economic hardship, this perfectly good food will be destroyed.
A powerful Pacific storm is bearing down on Taiwan this morning. A NASA image shows the massive super typhoon named Sodalar from space. Seth Doan is in Taipei, where the deadly storm is expected to make landfall within hours. Seth, good morning.
Good morning. The winds are picking up, and we're beginning to feel the outer bands of this powerful storm, the strongest to threaten Taiwan in years. We've seen windows taped up here as Taiwan braces for the impact of Typhoon Sodalar, which has left a path of destruction through several islands in the Pacific. Here we have seen authorities evacuating some residents. Fishermen have returned to port with their boats, and the Coast Guard is not only patrolling the coastline, but also offering lessons on saving lives at sea. This as tens of thousands of soldiers are on standby for disaster relief.
A magnitude 5.5 earthquake has shaken eastern Congo, killing 2 children. The tremor struck near Bukavu, the capital of South Kivu province. The victims lost their lives after a house collapsed. Buildings in the quake zone were also down.
Governor Rick Scott has declared a state of emergency in 3 Bay Area counties. Now, this will allow people in really hard-hit places like Pasco County to get some financial help.
I've done absolutely nothing, no. Put your gun down, really? Clearly did Mike that I was pointing my camera to videotape him. He thinks he's being funny now.
All right, go take your hand out of your pocket.
No, sir, I haven't done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing, no.
Seriously.
Put your gun down, really? This one's really got a gun. No, you don't touch me. You don't touch me.
That address right.
You don't touch me.
Hey, man.
No, you don't touch me.
When I tell you to take your hand out,
I've done nothing. Nope.
You need to relax.
What have I done? Why'd you get out of your vehicle?
You're taking a picture of me. I'm taking a picture of you.
Take a picture and leave.
Okay. I don't have to leave.
Neither do I.
So, I told you to take your hand out of your pocket. I just want to make sure you don't have a weapon.
You know I don't have a weapon on me.
Okay. I don't know that.
You do that. I'm completely clear. Wrong. You have your gun out because you're a police officer. You're trying to intimidate me, and this is going all over YouTube.
What's wrong with
you? Your station is corrupt.
Oh, okay. Are you some kind of a constitutionalist?
No, sir.
Crazy guy or something like that?
Is that what you're going after? Is that where you're going?
I'm down.
Are you throwing claims around?
A river of orange is now flowing into New Mexico after the accidental release of mine waste. The big question, what is in that water? Many are demanding answers, including the governor of New Mexico and the Navajo Nation. This is what the Animas River has been transformed into. The contaminants flowed through Durango and across the New Mexico state line overnight. That Animas is the main feed into the San Juan River. It has prompted communities along the route to shut off valves leading to their water supply, drinking water. But right now, no one knows exactly what that orange sludge contains. An alert from the Colorado Department of Natural Resources cited it as possible zinc and iron, but we've received no official declaration from the EPA, the agency behind that spill. They do say that about 1 million gallons of wastewater was accidentally released by their workers during a cleanup of the abandoned Gold King mine in Silverton. Navajo Nation officials are demanding answers, saying it could not only affect people, but animals and farms. Residents are concerned.
Breaking news overnight as a powerful typhoon slams Taiwan and is now taking aim at China this morning. Super Typhoon Sodalor left at least 6 people dead on the small island nation. 4 others are missing. Dozens more were injured.
Heavy rains from Typhoon Sodalor sent a torrent of water through New Taipei City. Rescue workers used ropes to help the stranded and unsteady caught in this flash flood. In the mountain village of Taoyuan, rain triggered mudslides, surrounding homes downhill. Across Taiwan, thousands were evacuated. Along the coast, the maximum sustained winds of around 100 miles per hour churned currents. An 8-year-old and her mother were killed when they were swept out to sea. Here in the capital city, the powerful storm made driving dangerous. Some streets flooded, others were strewn with overturned scooters and debris. These heavy wind gusts are knocking down trees. You can see several up and down this street in Taipei. These downed trees are not only blocking roads, but they're knocking out power. At the height of the storm, around 3 million households lost electricity.
Hokulea's worldwide voyage is delayed for now because of an active volcano in Indonesia. Persistent eruptions from the volcano have canceled flights in and out of Bali. That's preventing current crew members from switching out with a new crew that's supposed to fly in from Sydney. Despite the temporary delay, Hokulea's crew members say they're enjoying their stay in Bali, where they're learning traditional farming and land management practices.
Sodalor has heaped misery on Zhejiang province despite weakening into a tropical storm. A storm has killed 14 people in the province so far, and 4 more still remain missing. 7 counties in the province have been submerged under 700 millimeters of rain in the past days, 11 not seen in 120 years. Provincial authorities have blamed the rain-triggered floods and landslides for the 14 casualties. The storm has toppled down hundreds of houses, damaged roads, and cut off power in many regions. Almost 1.6 million people in Zhejiang have been affected, and about 190,000.
In Kaohsiung, strong winds sent a motorcycle flying several meters into the air. In the eastern county of Yilan, cargo trains blew onto their sides, and a freight airplane at Taoyuan International Airport weighing more than 10 tons was lifted off the ground. In Taipei City's Baitu district, the powerful storm took apart a 10-story scaffolding which crashed down on top of nearby residences and buildings and vehicles, and a Ferris wheel which weighed over 600 tons rotated about 17 times its normal speed, powered entirely by the wind.
Video out of Taiwan apparently showing a tornado spawned by the storm hitting Tainan City. Wow.
Yeah, you see it pop up right in front of that vehicle. The vehicle that turned out in front of him disappears. It's about 200 yards down the road. This happens obviously in seconds. You go from strong rains, ominous clouds, near zero visibility, and then cars tossed around like trees.
The storm killed at least 5 people in Taiwan, and 5 more are still missing. It's unclear how the people in that car are doing.
There's a guy, actually, if we watch this again, there's a scooter comes around the front of the windshield at this moment. He gets blown away. There he is, and he disappears. Yes. This car gets swept up in it, ends up 200 yards down the street. The guy on the scooter is there on the right of the screen. His scooter is 200 yards down the road. He does stand up, so he was
looks like he's
unharmed, which is just incredible considering how far that car was taken.
Good morning. Turkish officials say that both of the assailants involved in the attack on the US consulate this morning were women. One of the attackers was injured, took shelter in a nearby house, and was later cornered by Turkish police. She was later captured and carried away on a stretcher. The other attacker is believed to be still at large. Overnight, there was a separate car bomb attack on a police station in Istanbul, injuring 10 people. As police officers inspected the aftermath of the explosion, gunmen opened fire on them, sparking a shootout and leaving 4 policemen dead. This comes just 2 weeks after Turkey agreed to play a bigger role in the fight against ISIS, launching airstrikes against the extremists and allowing the US to launch strikes from a Turkish airbase. Turkey's also rounded up more than 1,000 suspected militants since last month, some with alleged links to ISIS, others with ties to communist and Kurdish groups. One of the women involved in the attack on the US consulate this morning has just now been named as Hatice Asik, a member of a banned communist group.
Wastewater continues to drain from the Gold King mine in Silverton, Colorado, 4 days after the contamination. The EPA confirms it's flowing out at a rate of about 500 gallons per minute. That yellow water laced with arsenic, lead, and other heavy metals reached New Mexico this weekend. Experts are still analyzing the waters to determine what the environmental and health impacts might be. The spill happened when an EPA-supervised cleanup crew accidentally breached a debris dam near the mouth of this mine, releasing more than 1 million gallons of sludge. In New Mexico, officials in the cities of Aztec and Farmington shut down the San Juan River's access to water treatment plants. Residents there have a 90-day supply of water. New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez criticized the EPA over its handling of the spill.
It is completely irresponsible for the EPA not to have informed the state of New Mexico immediately.
Professor Ashish Basu is a geochemist with the University of Texas in Arlington. He says the large amounts of metal in the water can be dangerous for humans and animals.
Every metal that we have found that's toxic metals in water is bad for our system.
The EPA plans to continue treating the drainage that is coming out of the mine site. They will also be doing more testing at the river and will publish that data as it becomes available.